welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow Season 10. You're watching this very special award series with me, Sunanda Jayaseelan. Now, for those of you who've joined us on this journey here on the 10th edition, you're aware that every year we select India's most innovative businesses to crown them and award them as the leaders of tomorrow. In this first part of a special 5-part series, we're going to talk to you about how we do this entire process. What makes us say that some businesses are definitely doing far better than others, and also who the jury was that goes about selecting these businesses, what the jury had to say to them, the method really behind this entire journey. That's what we're focusing on tonight. Also, on the show tonight, the big picture as far as the economy is concerned and the state of India's small businesses. That with V Vaidyanathan of IDFC FIRST Bank.
Leaders of Tomorrow, India's longest-running television show, has been championing the country's SMEs, MSMEs and startups for 10 long years by recognizing and nurturing the entrepreneurial spirit that abounds in this country that houses a billion dreams. The past decade saw India emerge as the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, with over 100 unicorns as it experienced an exponential pace of growth, making it truly the decade of entrepreneurship. To this end, the annual Leaders of Tomorrow Awards, which celebrates the resilience and hard work of the small businesses which support India's economy, is here with its 10th edition. As a precursor to the grand award ceremony, we conducted a jury round with India's most influential and sharpest minds from the business world, who, after careful evaluation, chose the winners across categories. Let's take a look at the eminent jury panel. Our first jury member is Saurabh Garg of No Broker, a trailblazer in the property tech space, which has been enabling people to find homes hassle-free. Next on the panel, we have Ayushi Gudwani, who has made it easier for women to find inclusive quality workwear and tackle the professional world with ease. Our jury member Isha Goyal is transforming the way Indians travel and helping craft unique memories. On the panel, we have Piruz Khambata of the legendary Rasna, which has helped us all brave many a summer through the years with its refreshing drink. Next, we have Rajesh Yabaji, who is pioneering the trucking industry in the country. On the panel, we have Roland Landers, who has been instrumental in revolutionizing the gaming industry. Next, we have Samir Satpathy, who is carrying forward the innovation legacy of one of India's oldest conglomerates. From the much-watched healthcare space, we have Samir Desai of Zydus Life, one of the largest manufacturers of generic drugs. Our jury member Anand Kumar Bajaj has been empowering communities by partnering with local retail stores and providing them with digital and financial tools to connect better with customers. Solving the rampant supply chain challenges in the country, we have Suraj Saharan. Our next panelist has captured the cashback industry by incentivizing shopping and optimizing savings. She is Swati Bhargava. Tarun Sharma has harnessed India's love for caffeine and introduced them to an entire range of personal products with its goodness. And lastly, we have Vishal Kamath, who has been at the forefront of building a trusted hotel brand with its pan-India presence. Let's now take a look at what the jury panel has to say about the Leaders of Tomorrow Awards.
Most interesting part while going through these presentations today was that people are connected to the grassroots and they are thinking very, very differently. So much to solve for, so much of technology to be applied to variety of challenging situations. Interesting outcome.
It was really mind-boggling to see so much energy and innovation across the various categories. It was very refreshing and energizing to meet all the different entrepreneurs.
Seeing the energy and passion with which each nominee presented their product and their organization instills tremendous confidence on these leaders as they chart out a strong, aggressive, and well thought out plan for their organizations well into the future.
I got really amazed by the kind of entries we saw for Leaders of Tomorrow, and it only strengthens my belief in the decade to come in the Indian economy and the kind of innovation we are looking at in India.
Some of the presentations were so clear, concise, coming with so much of passion, yet very strong execution roadmap. So very excited to see all of those presentations.
It was great to see a cross-section of work from across the country and across industries, and a lot of new ground being broken into. I think that was very interesting.
One of the most interesting parts for me was seeing the level of confidence, the depth in thought that many of the entrepreneurs have today. The kind of ecosystem and the kind of mentors that are available to them probably was not there for many in the prior generation. So that advantage which they have taken was very evident to see in the entire process, and I really appreciated that.
What's interesting is that even though some of these companies are in very, very nascent stages and are being run out of small towns, they still have very good plan in mind on how they're going to solve what they're trying to solve. There is clarity of the idea that they're trying to go behind.
The ideas were extremely innovative and also in line with how technology is progressing. From the presentations, I saw that it not only focused on the idea that was being presented, but also focused on the future potential and the strategy being employed.
Very infectious energy, like very high on innovation. People are like hustling it out, and it's always like great to see the entrepreneurial spirit like in the live fashion. So I think that's something which energizes me and like has made my day.
The Leaders of Tomorrow event is not leaders, Indian leaders. The world leaders are taking shape by these programs, and I'm sure if there are investors around, they should, then if they want to play blind, if they can pick the winners of all today's function, I'm sure they are going to reap in many much money. This is my advice to a lot of viewers.
As an entrepreneur, it's always most exciting for me to meet other entrepreneurs and hear their stories. But in these awards, what was most interesting for me was to look at the sheer ambition of what entrepreneurs in India are building. We are truly building for the world. The scale of our ambition is limitless, and that is just so exciting.
The dreamers and doers of today are the leaders of tomorrow. What these awards recognize is that enterprising spirit in the dreamers and doers of today. Look forward to seeing some passionate entrepreneurs turning their passion into sustainable, scalable, profitable business ideas.
I'll take a quick break. On that note, we're back in just a moment on the Leaders of Tomorrow Awards Special Edition. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on the Leaders of Tomorrow Awards Special Edition.
It is time to welcome our next speaker on stage. Our next speaker became a member of the board of a large bank at just the age of 38. He started his entrepreneurial journey by acquiring an NBFC with a plan to convert it to a bank. He then turned it around and scaled it with a loan book of rupees 30,000 crores to consumers and small entrepreneurs. Then, in an incredibly rare achievement, he merged his NBFC with a bank and came back to banking as MD and CEO of IDFC FIRST Bank. He's also been named the most inspirational CEO 2022 by the Economic Times. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now welcome on stage Managing Director and CEO of IDFC FIRST Bank, Mr. V Vaidyanathan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely a pleasure for me to be in this very electrifying group among all of you this evening. I saw some wonderful entrepreneurs this evening before coming on the stage, and I'm already very inspired to be among all of them. On this ET, this is the 10th season of Leaders of Tomorrow Awards, and I can say that every single award season has been very thrilling. And the ET team actually puts together a daily show 5 days a week, all through the year. I think the amount of work that goes behind the scene to put this together, this is only a climax that you see today, but really all through the year, a big round of applause to the ET team. The term Leaders of Tomorrow is also, I'd say, inspiring because it talks of leadership and it talks of tomorrow. You're not rooted in today, rooted in tomorrow. And there is something to look forward to for all entrepreneurs here, and hopefully many of you will win awards today, which will inspire you even more. Now, I come from the banking system, and I brought some numbers for you to give you a quick color about how large the financing industry is. Each one of you would know for your respective industries, but I'll just talk to you about, let me say, our industry. So the lending market, just in case you, some of you may or may not know, the lending market in the country is about 140 lakh crores. Right now, and as you might have learned, you might read from the papers, growing at about, this year, growing at about 17% per year, YOY. Now, of that amount, close to about 50 lakh crores is personal lending. Car loans, home loans, credit cards, that kind of stuff. Personal lending. Close to about 70 lakh crores is lending to large corporates, which is greater than 50 crore ticket size. Now, the next category is loan ticket sizes, which is about 10 crore to 50 crore. These are called medium enterprises. So as I read through this stack, you can look back in your respective lives and think and understand whether you're small, medium, large. Just, you can bracket yourself, at least for this context. One level below that are called the small enterprises. They have usually ticket sizes of a loan of between 1 crore to 10 crore. And the borrowing of ticket sizes less than, between 10 lakhs to 1 crore is called micro loans. And below that is called very small loans. Now, let me say these are the 4 or 5 stacks. Now, if you were to take a guess about the ticket sizes, what's the extent of exposure? Like I said, told you about 70 lakh crores is large enterprises. Only 8.7 lakh crores is medium enterprises. Just see the cliff, how it drops. And that is, in terms of order of magnitude, about 1:1,000. Means there are 1,000 more number of medium enterprises than compared to large. And the cliff drops like that. Small enterprises, which are millions of them, only 9.3 lakh crores. And micro enterprises, which are really what we talk the 60 million in India, that's only 5.7 lakh crores. So you see the stack, that's 60, 70, 8.7, 9.3, and 5.7. So the point is, therefore, that historically in this country, small entrepreneurs' credit has been really very little. Now, therefore, small entrepreneurs are operating out of equity of their respective lives. And all of us know, the people who have been through the financial circles, that lending on the basis of your own personal money, not lending, doing business out of your own equity is a very inefficient way of doing, because you need leverage to really, to compound your returns on your equity and all that. So large corporates also have access to, let me say, bond markets. They have access to the equity markets. Most of them are listed as well, or many of them are listed as well. So they get money at lower, cheaper and cheaper rates. Maybe large enterprises probably to borrow at maybe 8.5, 9%, somewhere there in today's market conditions. But the irony is that as you go down the pyramid, the harder the life, as all of us know, the harder the life for the small or micro entrepreneur, the borrowing cost is the highest, 16%, 18%. So it's an extraordinary irony and tragedy of our ecosystem that the small entrepreneurs are having to borrow at 15, 18, 20%. If you're really micro entrepreneur, like the microfinance entrepreneur, you're borrowing at 20 to 23%. Now, you have to therefore think about, we often, at least at our bank, we often think about, listen, this is fine, it is the way it is because the operating cost of that ecosystem is more. But then we say that, how do we reduce this? And we truly think we built a bank really from zero base. And in terms of a culture, in terms of thinking, in terms of what we want to build, it's not just a slogan for us, customer first, you first, and all that. We're really meaning it. We're embedding it in every single product the bank is making. And to connect it back to the conversation, we are trying to reduce the cost of operations for each of these segments of business. And of course, in due course, we'll be able to further bring down our lending rates and so on. At least that's that's really something we are working for. And massive amount of digitization is being done at the bank in terms of our processes, digital journeys, and so on and so forth, which will further bring down the cost and will benefit our customers. The other thing is that when you look at these small entrepreneurs, then you also think of the tax structure. Budget season is around the air, and oftentimes people say, give me your view, or what do you think can be done better, etc. I have always wished, I've been thinking and talking about this for many years, somehow I've not had any success on this, is to say that, the tax rate for large corporates, remember the block I told you, the 65, 70 lakh crore borrowers? So these people, for us, including our organization, for us the tax rates are, 25%. Even when you go down the stack and small entrepreneurs, everybody is 25%. In fact, if you're a partnership, it's worse. It's even more. So the point is that one of the wishes I've really been having is that if the small entrepreneurs, if up to a certain amount is actually tax-free, like, even for individuals, there is a progressive tax code, right? Up to a certain amount, say probably 5 lakhs or something, we pay zero tax. Small entrepreneurs also, low amount. Then after that, it's taxed up to 5%. Then on progressive basis, only on incremental basis, stack for 10%. Then progressive basis 15, then 20, then 25. We don't need to reduce this the top slab. All of us are large corporations; we can afford to pay that. But I'm talking about small entrepreneurs. If this sort of a progressive tax structure is there for the system, then small entrepreneurs earning 1 crore, 1.5 crores, 2 crores of PAT, income before tax, they will pay lesser tax amount. And the benefit will be that many of them, to the extent that they operate in parallel economy, by the way, parallel economy has come down dramatically in India in the last maybe 6 or 7 years. All of you are experiencing that. But even to the extent that, I know, for example, gym trainers or people who are doing odd service at home, oftentimes they would probably open 2 accounts, one in the name, spouse's name, take some income there, take some income there, so that they don't have to hit the slab. All those practices will go away, and the country will get, and by the way, they have the most difficult life. They borrowed the highest rate. For them to attract talent is very hard because they are relatively small. They're probably often located a little more off the headquarters. Let me say Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Madras. They're probably a little off in tier 2, tier 3 cities, probably headquartered. So generally speaking, we all agree that their life is relatively hard. So therefore, we can't really compensate for all their hardness because, unfortunately, it is a very competitive capitalist world. But tax can be one way of giving them a shoulder to give them support. That would be one significant wish / message out of this one session we have today. Second thing is that the other thing when we think of small entrepreneurs or medium entrepreneurs, I told you the various stack today, is for us to note that there is a serious amount of formalization that is happening in the Indian economy. And as entrepreneurs, we can have this heading called Leaders of Tomorrow, but I can guarantee you'll never become leader if you're not going to catch on to the new wave of technology that is happening. And if your marketing is not become digital, if your loan processing has not become digital, or your respective business will not become digital, if your app is not fantastic, and if all that, or if your UI, UX, the design, if all those things don't come together, you'll really be inefficient, and we can never become leaders of tomorrow. So if there's one comment I would like to say, I would say we got to figure out how even small entrepreneurs, medium entrepreneurs have to constantly say, how are we going to digitize from here? If we don't digitize, if we don't jump onto the new ecosystem, we can forget this, the leaders of tomorrow. our small entrepreneurs have to quickly jump on this bandwagon and make the effort to be part of that story. Therefore, in this context of the COVID that has happened in the country for the last maybe 2 or 3 years, many of our entrepreneurs have, despite COVID, come through and won these awards today. So I must say, very, very heartiest compliments and congratulations to every one of you for winning your awards today. And no wonder, when India is talking of economy and all this stuff, our economy is firing. We know the short-term economy, CRISIL ratings have gone up, and they're saying, look, companies are less leveraged now, and therefore they can play the next capex cycle. Farm, car sales, two-wheelers, all looking good. So short-term is looking good. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and to all the winners awards, very strong wishes to us. Bye.
So from that big picture conversation, tomorrow's show is going to focus on the lives of two of India's most well-known and young entrepreneurs. First up is Ritesh Agarwal of OU Group. So I'm also in conversation with Vijay Nirani of the MRN Group. Here's a sneak peek into those conversations as we're ending tonight.
I believe that we will probably reach 1.5 billion plus domestic travel visitors next year. So I think Indian customers are the big breadwinners for hotels, not the international travelers anymore.
Since the last 2 or 3 years, we've had such good policy updates in the country that even dying industries have now turned very glamorous and very appealing. So what we used to do was just make sugar back in the day, and today sugar industries have all become they're bioparks today.